You know what nobody tells you about a real crisis? It's not the big, dramatic explosion that gets you, it's the slow-motion disaster. It's the Tuesday afternoon you realize the pharmacy's been dark for 3 weeks and your kid has a fever that won't break. It's that moment you realize all the money in your bank account means absolutely nothing compared to a simple, life-saving item. I've been in the prepping world for a long time, since around 2012, and let me tell you something that took me years to really understand. We've all been looking at value completely wrong. When the systems we rely on finally start to crack, and history shows us they always do the things you've stockpiled to save your life, could become your biggest liability. See, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking all barter items are equal. They are not. Some items are so critical, so universally needed, that just having them puts a giant target on your back. This isn't about having a few extra cans of beans for a friendly trade. This is about the high-stakes assets that people will lie, steal, and even kill for. Today we're going to talk about the 8 items so valuable, you can't just put them on a shelf. You have to lock them down, hide them, and most importantly, never let anyone know you have them. Because the first rule of having these things is that no one can ever know. Number 2. Water purifiers and filters. Alright, number 2. This one's simple. You can survive 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. When the grid goes down, the tap water stops. It's a memory. People will be drinking from rivers, lakes, even puddles. And those sources are filled with invisible killers, E. coli, Giardia. In a world without doctors, dysentery is a death sentence. This is where a good water filter becomes a magic trick. A Sawyer squeeze, a Berkey, these things turn contaminated, deadly water into safe drinking water. It's literally the power to create life. If you're the only one in your area with a reliable filter, you control the most important resource there is. Here's the problem that creates. Your neighbor watches you collect murky water from the creek, but he notices you and your kids never get sick. Meanwhile, his family is cramping and ill. It won't take him long to figure it out. A portable filter is an easy thing to snatch when you turn your back. But the real danger isn't the thirsty guy. It's the smart, ruthless guy who leads a group. He doesn't want a drink of your water, he wants your Berkey. He understands that controlling the water supply is the fastest way to consolidate power. He can charge for it, force people to work for a daily ration, and cut off his enemies. You, the owner of that filter, are just an obstacle. Revealing you have a filter is like putting up a sign that says, "Future warlord's first target." So, here's the solution. Invisibility and redundancy. Number 3. Ammunition. In a world without cops, the ability to project force is everything. And in that world, ammunition is the ultimate currency. It keeps you safe, and it lets you hunt. A single cartridge is the difference between being a victim and a survivor. The value of ammo goes through the roof in a crisis because manufacturing grinds to a halt. The supply that exists when things go bad is all there is. Every round fired is one less round in the world. This turns every box of 9mm, 223, or 12 gauge into a treasure. It becomes the new gold standard. But here's what really happens. Possessing a lot of ammo makes you powerful, but it also makes you a massive target. A local gang's biggest problem will be logistics. They can't make ammo. Your stockpile is a huge force multiplier for them. If they can take your thousands of rounds, they can own the whole area. You become their number one objective. Even a desperate neighbor with a rifle and only 5 rounds left sees you as a threat. He knows you have the advantage, and if he gets desperate enough, he might try to take what you have when you're vulnerable. Bartering away your ammo is just as dangerous. You could be handing someone the bullet they use on you later. Securing your ammo requires more than just a locked cabinet. First, absolute secrecy. And I mean absolute. Don't tell your buddy, don't tell your brother-in-law. People talk, people break. Buy ammo with cash. Move it out of the commercial boxes into plain ammo cans right away. Your goal is plausible deniability. If someone asks, you should be able to say, "I wish. I'm down to my last box, just like everyone else." Number 4. Coffee. After you have food, water, and security, people crave something else. Comfort. A sense of normalcy. In a world of constant stress and fear, the simple pleasures become worth a fortune. At the top of that list are coffee and alcohol. For millions, coffee is a ritual. It's that jolt of energy, that moment of peace. Caffeine withdrawal is a real thing, headaches, fatigue, irritability, and it will make a bad situation even worse. A simple cup of coffee will be a massive psychological boost. People will trade valuable goods for a small bag of it. Then there's alcohol. It's a stress reliever, a social lubricant, and can even be used to sterilize a wound in a pinch. For some, it's a desperate need. For others, it's a way to forget the new reality for a few hours. Small bottles of hard liquor will become a liquid currency. But here's the problem with stockpiling comfort. You're also stockpiling vice. A large supply of liquor is a magnet for the worst kind of people. Addicts will steal for it. A group of armed men getting drunk on your supply? Your home becomes ground zero for chaos. Coffee is a different risk. It's the risk of envy. Imagine your neighbors are exhausted and demoralized. But they see you, always energetic. They smell the faint aroma of coffee from your house. It creates a deep, bitter resentment. It marks you as rich. They'll think, if he has coffee, he must have food, medicine, and everything else. It paints a target on your back for a group of have-nots who feel justified in redistributing your wealth. So the solution is all about being subtle. First, OPSEC is everything. The smell of coffee is a dead giveaway. If you make it, do it inside, maybe in a basement to minimize the smell. Use an opaque covered mug. Same for alcohol. Decant it into plain stainless steel water bottles. These luxuries must be a private, invisible act. Number 5, fuel. Gasoline, propane, diesel. Our whole world runs on fuel. When the pumps shut off for good, there's going to be a desperate scramble for what's left. Fuel is what lets the last bits of modern technology work. Gasoline runs generators for freezers, wells, and medical gear. A chainsaw can process a winter's worth of wood in a day. Propane is even more valuable for its stability and for clean cooking without a smoky fire. The person with fuel has power. They have mobility when others are trapped on foot. They have electricity when everyone else is in the dark. A 55-gallon drum of stabilized gas will be worth a mountain of gold. The problem is, you can't use fuel without advertising it. The sound of a generator carries for a half mile. The smell of gas is unmistakable. A working vehicle in a world of dead cars is the ultimate show of wealth. That sound, that smell, is a beacon. It tells everyone within earshot that you have one of the most lootable resources in existence. Organized groups will be hunting for fuel. It's critical for them to expand their operations. Your generator isn't a comfort to them, it's an objective. They will find you, and they will come for your fuel. So, how do you handle it? First, storage. Never store large amounts of liquid fuel in your house. The fire risk is too high. The best solution is a buried cache some distance from your home. Propane is more stable and can be stored outdoors, but it has to be camouflaged. A pile of tanks is a giveaway. Hide them under a deck or disguise them. Number 7. Batteries and power banks. In a grid-down world, the darkness will be total. Batteries become the finite spark of the modern world. AA batteries will power flashlights and small radios for getting information. High-performance batteries run weapon lights and better gear. And power banks, especially ones you can recharge with a solar panel, can keep a phone or tablet going, a device that can hold an entire library of survival manuals and maps. The person with batteries has light and information. But here's the problem. The use of batteries advertises your preparedness. A consistent light at night, even a small one, is a signal. It says, a prepper lives here. If you have batteries, you must have other things: food, medicine, tools. Your flashlight beam is a giant arrow pointing to your house. A group of looters moving through a dark neighborhood sees one dark house, and one house with a faint flicker of light. Which one do you think they'll hit first? Your solar panel array is even worse. It's a permanent, visible sign that your location is a high-value target. The solution is the power of invisibility. First, strict light discipline. Use lights only when you have to, and make sure you have blackout curtains so no light escapes. Use the dimmest setting possible. Red light is better for preserving night vision and is less visible from a distance. Second, secure storage. Keep batteries cool and dry. Hide your main stockpile. An ammo can labeled MISC. Hardware is a good trick. Rotate your stock first in, first out. Third, camouflaged charging. Don't put permanent solar panels on your roof. Use portable, foldable ones. Set them up during the day in a hidden spot like a backyard, then put them away. Number 1. Antibiotics and life-saving medical supplies. Let's start with the undisputed king. When it all falls apart, the ability to fight a simple infection becomes priceless. We take it for granted now. A cut gets infected, you get a Z-Pack. But when the production and delivery of these drugs just stops, a deep cough or a puncture wound from a rusty nail becomes a potential death sentence. We'd be thrown right back to a time when people died from things we now cure with a few pills. This is why a private stash of broad-spectrum antibiotics, amoxicillin, doxycycline, things like that is worth more than gold. You hold the power to save a life, and that's where the trouble starts. Now, you have to understand the psychology this creates. Let's say it's 6 months in. Sanitation has broken down, infections are everywhere. Your neighbor's son gets a deep gash on his leg, and it's going septic. He is burning up with a fever, and his dad knows with absolute certainty that his son is going to die without medicine. He also remembers a careless word you said months ago, or saw a package being delivered, and thinks you might have what he needs. What do you think he's going to do? First, he'll beg. He'll offer you everything he owns. But what if you say no? What if you only have enough for your own family? That desperation won't just vanish. It'll turn into something much darker. He won't see himself as a thief. He'll see himself as a father saving his child, and in his mind, any action is justified. The word gets out, that family over there, they have medicine, and you've just become the new pharmacy, without any of the security. So, what do? The security for this stuff has to be absolute. First, OPSEC, operational security. It's the most important thing. Nobody outside your immediate household should know what you have. Don't brag about your fishmox or your trauma kit. When you get these items, be discreet. Take your name off the prescription labels immediately. The first rule of having a medical stockpile is, you don't talk about the medical stockpile. Number 6, heirloom seeds and gardening knowledge. In a long-term crisis, all the stored food will eventually run out. When that happens, the single most valuable thing on the planet will be the ability to create new times food. This is where heirloom seeds are worth more than guns or gold. Unlike hybrid seeds that often produce sterile plants, heirlooms let you grow crops and then save the seeds from that harvest for the next year. It's the key to actual self-sufficiency. A small bag of heirloom seeds contains the potential for tons of food. You own a food factory. But the danger here is subtle at first, then grows. In the early days, nobody cares about your seeds. They're busy looting grocery stores. But a year in, when people are starving, the sight of your green, thriving garden will be an incredible provocation. Think about it. Your family is healthy and well-fed. Your neighbors are wasting away. Your garden becomes a symbol of impossible wealth. They'll raid it at night, sure. But smart people will quickly realize, why steal a few tomatoes when you can steal the times ability times to grow thousands? Your seed bank becomes the real prize. It's small, easy to grab, and it represents their future. Protecting this requires camouflage and deception. First, the secret garden. Don't plant a big, neat garden in your front yard. That's a billboard. Practice dispersed gardening. Mix vegetables in with flowers. Use vertical trellises on the side of the house. Maybe a hidden guerrilla garden in a nearby wooded area. The goal is for your yard to look normal, maybe a little overgrown, not like a buffet. Second, the seed bank. You have to protect your seeds from moisture, pests, and discovery. Store them in mylar bags with desiccants, then hide them. Don't keep them all in one place. Your main bank should be in a buried cache, where the cool earth is perfect for long-term viability. Keep smaller packets hidden in different spots, a hollowed-out book, a false bottom drawer. Number 8. Soap. When a crisis hits, one of the first and deadliest casualties is sanitation. The world becomes a breeding ground for disease. Here, a simple bar of soap isn't a luxury. It's a frontline medical tool. It's one of your best weapons against the invisible enemies that will kill far more people than bullets. Hygiene is health. Washing your hands prevents the spread of diseases like dysentery and cholera. These basic items, soap, toothpaste, feminine hygiene products, are the foundation of public health. They will disappear from shelves instantly, and the demand will be astronomical. You're not just stocking soap, you are stocking health and dignity. Like with coffee, the danger is envy. A few months in, most people are filthy. Sickness is rampant. But your family looks different. You're relatively clean. You look healthy. That difference will be obvious and dangerous. People will notice. They'll talk. How do they stay so clean? It will breed resentment. They'll see you as hoarding the means of health. And their logic will be simple. If they have enough soap to be clean, they must have more than enough food. Your clean appearance justifies them coming to take what you have. The key is the gray man theory: blend in. Your goal is to be clean enough to be healthy, but dirty enough to look like everyone else. First, manage your appearance. Don't walk around in a spotless shirt. After you do laundry, maybe rub a little dirt on it before you go out. You're washing to remove germs, not to look good. It's social camouflage. Second, concealed storage. Stock up on unscented bar soap. It lasts for years. Store the bulk of it in sealed buckets or hidden boxes. Keep a small amount for use, and keep the main supply deeply hidden. Third, if you barter with it, be smart. Soap is a great trade item because it's scalable and non-threatening, but trade away from your home. Make the soap look like you scavenged it, not like it came from a pristine stockpile. Found a case of this in an abandoned car. This is my last bar. It deflects attention. Look, at the end of the day, all these items we've talked about, antibiotics, filters, ammo, fuel, seeds, they're about one thing: solving problems when modern life stops working. Their value is a double-edged sword. Having them can make you a king, but it can also make you a target. The common thread for protecting all of it isn't a bigger safe, it's discipline. The first rule of Prep Club is you don't talk about Prep Club. Nobody should know what you have. Your survival depends on your ability to become a ghost, to blend in and look just as unprepared as everyone else. Bonus tip. Here's something else for you. The ultimate security is having a hidden off-site cache. Your home is a single point of failure. A fire or a determined attack can wipe you out. If you have the means, bury a small waterproof container with the essentials of backup for each of the items on this list in a remote location only you know. That is your ultimate insurance policy. The world ahead could be a dangerous place. Being prepared gives you an incredible edge, but that edge can drag you under if you're not smart. Secure your supplies, but more importantly, secure your information, stay prepared, and stay invisible. Now I want to hear from you. What's one item you think people overlook securing? Let us know in the comments. Your idea might be the one that helps someone else stay safe. And if this helped you think differently, hit that like button and subscribe for more guides that go beyond the basics.